Hey everybody, this is Vril. Welcome back to Extended Timeline World War II. So in the last episode, we had quite a few French colonies break away from France with the help of Brazil and Spain. And that includes Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Cameroon, and Guinea, I believe. We also had Angola break away, but that was from the Portuguese. Over in South America, it's becoming a three-horse race between Brazil, Argentina, and Peru. Up here in Europe, we have a big war between Greece and Yugoslavia. I guess I'll get to that here in a moment. I wanted to look at the forces of the world. So the rebels across the world are back in this episode now, being the largest army out there, followed by the USA, China, Soviet Union, and Germany. Soviets are, well, Germany and both the Soviets are starting to rebuild their manpower. And I noticed that the Netherlands is completely out of manpower. They've only had about 100,000 units, so we might see them start to get attacked in this episode, but we'll see how that goes. I noticed that Turkey also is completely out of manpower. They were fighting some rebels here in the last episode, and actually let me look at what wars are going on. There aren't that many wars. We've got the Yugoslavian Greek imperialist war that's almost over. On the side of Greece, it looks like they're going to be winning that one. We've got some Indian colony wars going on. We've got the American-Japanese war. That one just started. And we've got several British colonies trying to break away. So Great Britain has help from Argentina, Mexico, and China fighting off these colonists. Let's go ahead and just start progressing time. I wanted to see what happens with this Greek-Yugoslavian war that should be ending relatively soon. Looks like we've got some Swiss noble rebels that have risen up as well. We've also got these Algerian separatists down here in French Maghreb. So I would expect for Morocco and Algeria probably to break off from France very soon. Let's bump up the speed a little bit. Now, like I said last episode, Germany is just kind of sitting around and waiting for the most part. They've just been rebuilding their manpower. I'd be curious to see where they end up going from here. They didn't get any territory as far as I know from the World War II event. Okay, we've just had Greece split up the Yugoslavia into Serbia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, and let's see, we've got Croatia and Slovenia. Okay, so that is what the outcome of that war was. Let's see if there's anything else going on. Dominican-Haitian imperialist war. Not too much going on, just rebel activity. Looks like the Japanese also have both Chinese particularists and Japanese particularists are fighting each other in the southern Japanese islands. So that is an interesting turn of events there. Anything else to look at here? I'd like to keep it down here so I can see what the units are. I think Mozambique and Madagascar also broke away from their countries that they were colonies of, but I don't recall. I don't recall exactly what countries they were part of. So we did have another war. I don't recall, but we might have had a war between the Dominican Republic and Haiti previously. Looks like we've got the Americans in Puerto Rico, obviously. Now, they are at war with the Japanese, but I don't foresee them really doing all that much. It might be some islands that they want. There's even some Japanese islanders that are trying to separate from the Japanese. Let's see, anything else going on here? We've got some tribal kingdom wars here in India that are going on. And actually we've got another war up here between Hungary and Serbia. A nationalist war. Actually, that one's almost finished. That was on the side of, and it did just finish. Looks like Hungary took over quite a bit of Serbia. The core of Serbia here. Just taking advantage of the lack of army and manpower after that Greek war with them. British, Sudanese, American. So the American Japanese imperialist war is just kind of doing nothing, and the war score is just going down over time. So these French probably need to build up an army so that they can deal with these revolutionaries that they have. As far as I see, that's this British Somaliland, that happened, I believe, in the last episode. The Saudi Arabia and Iran did fight, but I don't really think any territory was exchanged. We've got Rhodesia, we've got Belgian Congo. What is this here? We've got British Sudan is occupying that area. We've got some Liberian noble rebels. These Moroccan separatists, the French are also going to need to deal with, but I suspect that they're probably thinking to deal with what's going on in the homeland before they deal with what's going on in their colonies. No new wars fired off. I think we had, in the last, well, it's been 10 years since the series has started. So we had quite a few wars fire off. We had to get all of these colony wars. Let me have a look at just the army here. So yeah, the rebels are getting taken care of. Let me just show that to you a little bit quicker than I just glanced at it. Okay. Yeah, so the French do have some major problems here in Algeria, in the Maghreb area. Italians are surprisingly not having too many issues with their colonies. Just keep an eye on Europe. Seems where there's the most action going on. I'm surprised that maybe Belgium hasn't declared war on... Yeah, I thought I saw some marks there, so I thought they were getting occupied a little bit, but... Oh, actually, is there a... Let me get back... Let me pause here. I think that the Germans might be... Belgian Congolese War of Independence. Okay, the Belgian Congo, Germany, and Portugal are at war with Belgium and Luxembourg to gain independence of Belgian Congo. Okay, well, with the Germans on their side, I wouldn't expect that those the Belgians will be able to fight that off. We've got Guderian in the Ardennes forest, it looks like. A little bit easier when all you have to deal with is Belgium, not France. So that should go pretty well for them, no question there. Look at it, it's already up to 80 war score. Let me just sort this by... It looks like all these wars are going on the side of the attacker right now, but just very little values there. So, the Soviet Union is not really doing all that much right now. I know a lot of you guys are watching the Soviets for what they do in this, picking them as the largest, hopefully the victor of this, but we'll see. I'm just glad that they haven't switched over. I know I did a time-lapse. It was the Cold War time-lapse where the Soviets almost immediately, within like a year of the start of the time-lapse, changed back over to Russia, so I think that was a problem with one of the older versions of the extended timeline. So it's kind of a bummer when that happened so quickly. So we've got some Laotian and Vietnamese separatists trying to gain independence from France, it looks like. It's not a war on here, but they are, because they are just rebels. So that will be possibly a long war. I mean, this is getting into the time period where all of these colonies did break away from France, and that led to obviously the Vietnam War, and here in Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos. So far, the British are holding on to their colonies the best, I would say, and it looks like the American-Japanese War here did just... Here's a big battle going on here. Glad we didn't miss this. Big naval battle. Looks like the Americans are going to win that one. Yeah, they did, and that put up like 10 points on their war score. Wondering if they're actually carrying any troops. Don't think that they are. Looks like the Japanese did take care of their rebels that they were dealing with, both Chinese and Japanese rebels, like particularists, I believe. Still have this occupied by Chinese separatists, though, and it looks like we've got some Chinese separatists in Taiwan as well. I'm glad we did not miss that, and obviously we've got American Indonesia not having any issues with colonists. Let's see, any other wars spark off? Nope, not at the moment. Do have a very large American Navy here. Just seems like they're... Okay, this is actually... I might have said that this was occupied by the rebels, but no, it's actually occupied by the US. Taiwan is. So we'll see how that goes. Let me head back to Europe. So that war score for the American-Japanese War is just at 0 still. They might have to just break that off at some point just because of the war exhaustion. Gets real high, people don't want it to be at war, and there's not really any gains happening. Who's helping out? We've got Haiti and Cuba. Okay, I don't know if Cuba was in that war the whole time. Maybe they were, and I just didn't really pay attention. But that should help out the Haitians here. I think the Dominicans kind of had the Haitians' numbers if they didn't have any support. But they do. Okay. Let's have a look at just like some alliances here. We've got Romania and Germany, or Germany with Romania and Norway. We've got Sweden with France. France is actually allied with the Russians and Hungary. British. Okay, they have royal marriage with the Belgians. That's about it. A bunch of their colonies. And they are allied with the Chinese. Japanese obviously have Japanese Korea and Manchukuo. Okay, they still are allied with the Italians, like they were before. Let me actually, one more, I will check the Americans. Allied with the Canadians. Let's check Brazil. I think the Brazilians are with the Spanish there. The Argentinians are with Great Britain. Peru with Venezuela. Okay. And actually the French as well. Switch back to the political map. And double check on any wars. Not too much going on, so I'm actually going to bump up the speed to 4. And we'll just watch Europe for the moment. See if anything fires off. I mean, we were having some speed issues last episode. We've got some Polish peasants that are rising up here. Yeah, it was... Okay, we've actually got Algeria has broken off from France. We've got the Moroccan separatists here. Actually, I was up to speed 5 there for a moment. I don't think I'll be doing much speed 5 in this series. It just goes a little bit too fast for me to really keep up with it. No new wars going on. Think that the American Navy is like dominating the area, but I don't really think that they're moving any troops into Japan. I mean, they did move into Taiwan, obviously. And I don't think that they'll really be able to, the Japanese will be able to get back over there because obviously the American Navy will block anything like that happening. It would be cool to see if the Americans, or anybody for that matter, can really take a large force across the ocean to take something that they want. Vietnamese separatists, the French can't do anything, and we did have Laos has established itself as a country from their separatists. I think that these rebel mechanics are improved because of the Kazakhs' expansion, and I think that really helps what's going on here in Extended Timeline. There really were not all that many rebel uprisings before. I mean, if there were, they didn't have these objectives like breaking off into their own countries, at least not as successful as they seem to be doing right now. Helps us simulate more like a Victoria 2 style game a little bit better than EU4 used to be able to do. Still not perfect, but certainly a lot better. I know a lot of players are probably complaining about all the issues they have to keep up with the rebels now, though, so I suppose you can still play Iron Man for your achievements and turn off the DLCs, and it might make the game easier. Nothing much going on in Australia. They seem pretty content. Same in New Zealand. And surprisingly, the Dutch as well, even though they were completely out of manpower. Did we have I should have checked on the Belgian Congo. Yes. We have the Democratic Republic of Congo. It has now been created. Obviously, we knew that war was going on, but I forgot to check. I mean, it ended really, really quickly, but I forgot to check what actually came from it. Still got a little bit of Belgium here. A little bit. And that was actually, yeah, just Belgium, and it's not like Belgian Congo or anything like that. It was like that Angolan flag. It's like has a machete on it. Can't zoom into it. Well, I guess I could see it here. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Anything else? Here we do have Egyptian-Greek imperialist war. Okay. Well, if you guys are going to do much of anything, you're going to have to take your navies across the Mediterranean here. And it does look like the Crete is occupied by Egypt. So at least they've been able to figure that out now. Whether they, one or the other, can actually figure out sending troops to their actual mainland is another question entirely. But it does look like the Egyptians, they seem like they're going to do it. We'll see. Do we have... Okay, Montenegro was also created in that whole Greek war on Yugoslavia there. I think I missed that one. Alright, well, it looks like we're coming up on 1954, and it does look like we're out of time for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, and please consider hitting the like button if you did, as it really helps out the channel. So I'll see you guys next time.